Just a few adjustments the British bowman Jack Beaumont making to make sure his boat's absolutely straight. You can see him looking down the track there.
Go.
Lovely squeeze from both crews there, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely nothing in it. First stroke is really important. It's when the nerves turn into energy, into power. Look at the British quad go. Very nice, clean, strong start from them.
Yeah, we had a great shot there of Pete Lambert, the South African-born stroke man, of course, in that Olympic quad in Rio in 2016. Didn't win a medal, but there's Lewis Hollow's stroke of the New Zealand quad, the man from West End Rowing Club, same rowing club as Mahe Drysdale, of course, who've won the Diamond Sculls here, the famous New Zealand sculler, and a lead for Britain early on.
Yeah, we should expect these Brits to go out fast and push and push and push through the race. They've had a great season, most recently winning gold in Poznan in the championships there. And as you say, 2 from the Olympic quad, 2 from the Olympic double, a new combination, looking strong.
Yeah, a really great progression through the season. Just to name check, Lewis Hollow's in the stroke seat. We've talked about him already. Cameron Crampton behind him in the 3 seat. The only survivor from the New Zealand quad in Rio finished 11th, Nathan Flannery in the 2 seat. And then, well, the British are moving away from them. And a little look across from Giacomo Thomas, the Hawke's Bay sculler. Same club as Emma Twigg, also a winner here in the single sculls for New Zealand.
Yeah, Leander, this crew, the British crew, is stroking 37 strokes a minute. The Kiwis are on the other side, 38 strokes a minute, a little bit more power and aggression.
New Zealand like to rate high. They've got such heritage in sculling, haven't they? Robbie Madsen went over at 38, sort of almost 39 strokes a minute in the World Cup in Poznan, broke the singles record. These guys train with him. Giacomo Thomas looks across just to check where they are. He's the man calling in that Kiwi boat.
And it's a vital stage of the race here, Martin, because the Brits are trying to ease away and the Kiwis desperately don't need to lose contact. They need to stay level so they can look across and see their opponents, feel any moves that are being made. And that's why you'll see in this kind of racing, the crews will look at each other, glance at each other much more than in 6 lanes because it's so tactical.
Well, I fancy this is a great road for the Kiwis. You know, there's another look across from the bowman Giacomo Thomas. When they raced each other in the heat in Poznan a couple of weeks ago, the Kiwis were 3 seconds down at 500 metres. The British had an absolute fantastic first quarter. Of course, now the Kiwis are more close. The British are going to really get into the middle of this race. Just be a little more patient around the front end, let the blades get sucked up by the water and just let that leverage go for them.
There's a contrast in experience of Henley here. The Kiwis are fresher crew, lots of under 23 and junior talent in there, but the Brits have been at Henley a lot with huge success. Jack Beaumont Bow is looking for his 6th Henley win, and we've got 3 times Henley winners, 4 times Henley winners, multiple Henley winners all throughout this boat. So they know the course, it's their home stretch, and they know how to win here.
See Jack Beaumont farthest away from you. That British quad posted 5:36.42 in Poznan. That was a fantastic mark, just 4 seconds off the world best set by the Ukraine in 2014. And I fancy that record held by Italy here, 27 years old, set in 1989, could be vulnerable. 6:15 at the finish. We'll have to wait to see.
Martin, the Kiwis are doing well here, aren't they? They're holding on to the Brits into the middle of the course, and their rhythm looks good. They look composed, and they're not attacking super hard, and the Brits are being more aggressive, but the Kiwis are staying with them.
Well, you know, I think Jack Beaumont said, you know, the Kiwis just come off the plane and, you know, they're allowed that first little sort of get into the regatta. They're in the small final, but the Brits know they're in a race here. This is a fantastic effort from the Kiwis. The Brits blew them away when they last raced in the heat in Poznan, but they are hanging on, and this is an impressive row from the All Black oarsmen.
This is the Brits responding and attempting to push away to clear water. That makes it harder for the Kiwis, and they can't see them out of the corner of their eyes. They are through the halfway mark, and look at this beautiful head-on shot. You can see the British crew, aggressive style here, sweeping the boat past the blades, through the water, pushing on, trying to break the Kiwis.
So 2 men in the British quad on the left of your picture were in the Olympic crew. That's Jack Beaumont and Pete Lambert. Sam Townsend and Angus Groom, the other 2. And of course Sam Townsend here helping coach Bradley, who will come down the track shortly in the final of the Princess Elizabeth. It's a very small world rowing, isn't it?
It is. I'm just looking at the time there. They've just passed Fawley, which is around the halfway mark in 3:03. The record for this race that's been standing for 27 years is 3:01. So they're just outside the record. This morning we've seen records tumbling. The conditions, we should say, are pretty fast here. There's a nice tailwind, but it's fairly flat. So they're good record-breaking conditions. The Brits just outside that record by 2 seconds at the halfway mark now. Kiwis attacking again, Martin. Look.
I'm just loving how composed the British are, because, you know, this isn't going to plan. They probably might have thought that they blow the New Zealanders away, but they still look calm, they still look composed, and I think it's been so great to see Johnny Walton and John Collins from the British double scull in Rio come into this quadruple scull and really give it the solidity, and that's been a real major find this season, I think, putting those two in the boat.
Yeah, I think this has got lots of potential, this boat. I mean, the sculling squad, the British sculling squad, is really strong. Look at the under-23 boat earlier here at Henley. They really sculled very well. And the bigger guys, the older guys here, just being warned by umpire John Hedger, stay in your lane. You can see they're across the middle of the course. They're supposed to be on the right-hand side. They shouldn't be washing the Kiwis down as they come into the last couple of hundred metres.
Yeah, Jack Bowman, just the bow steersman, just edging over, but he doesn't want to edge too far. That's mature rowing. He's so experienced, just that lad, 23 years of age. He's just moved a little bit to satisfy Hedger, but he doesn't want to lose too much because he knows he's under pressure from the All Black crew. Well,
I've got to say the Kiwis have had a fantastic race to stay in contact all the way through. You can see the people on their feet in the enclosures appreciating the quality of rowing here, as the Leander crew, the last few strokes, really powering away.
So in front of us, that is Leander coming up to the finish of the quadruple sculls, the Queen Mother Cup for international quadruple sculls. They cross the line now. That's a great win, a tough contest. The Kiwis just under a length behind. Fantastic for the Mike Roger coach crew.
You can see them very excited to have won that.
Well, I think I expected that to be a little more emphatic, the margin, not to take anything away from the British crew. I thought they sculled really well, particularly through the middle of the race, but the Kiwis have just stepped on, haven't they?
They really have. It was a tighter race than the British would have predicted, I suspect, and although that boat is stacked full of Henley winning experience over multiple years, I think they would have expected to have broke the Kiwis in the middle of the race. So huge credit to this New Zealand crew. The New Zealanders are here in force across Henley Regatta in all of the events with their top boats, and it's wonderful to see the quality of competition we've got here at the finals day of Henley Royal Regatta 2017.
There's Leander, coached by Paul Stannard, the British coach, who is so experienced in working with the quadruple sculls these days.